Welcome to the second part of my MBT gameplay with advanced rules. We are starting with a new turn, and let's go to the spotting phase first. It's pretty easy to say that all the tanks can see each other. Even these that are hidden in the woods, they have spot move counters, and these are making them easier to see. So they can be seen by all these Soviet tanks. So we have to keep all the spot fire and spot move counters on the board. And then let us go to the command phase. As you remember, we can give only 2 commands per each side, since there are 3 tanks and they are seasoned. So I'm gonna give this American tank fire command, and these 2 will get move. You will see why later. As for Soviets, I'm gonna give this fire and these 2 short halt. Soviets are clearly in the offensive here. Now the next one should be initiative. Let's check who will win in an initiative now. Soviets 47, Americans 26. So Soviets win an initiative. We can skip air phase since we are not using any air units in this particular game. Gotta place initiative counter, and we can move to the Soviet fire phase. So this one fires on this American tank. Let's check modifiers. There is +1 for target size. American tank is not moving, so it is not in any cover. Soviets are not executing short halt. No one is damaged. There is no smoke, no overwatch, no ammo limits, no and now we can check weapon side. Soviets have laser and optical. Laser, we are on the short range. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, point blank. There is 6 hexes limit for the point blank, and we are on the 5 hexes range, so we are executing point blank. So laser sight has no effective on the point blank. Same goes to the optical, so nobody fires for this. So we'll be using +1 because of the target size. This gives us almost sure hit, since we are on the point blank and we have +1, so 99. Only 0 and 0 would save American. Let us roll. Wow, that was pretty close, but hit is scored. Hit is scored, and that's where the fun starts. Okay, I'm gonna make another roll. It is 2 and 4. First, I have to check AP penetration. There is AP penetration here, table, and first I am taking AP power of my gun. It is 108 because of the point blank range, and then I rolled 2 and 4. Rolls from 1 to 4 are lowering our AP penetration. Rolls 10 to 7 are increasing. We have 108, so we are taking this verse, and I am taking 2 and 4. So these 2 are making 11, so I am subtracting 11 from 108, it makes total armor, total power 97. I'm gonna use a die to make it remember about it, since with a lot of numbers it is easy to forget about some stuff. Now, when I know the total strength of my ammo, I can locate place where the hit was scored. I'm using AP location, and I'm taking a result from the tens die. It is white for me, so 2. I scored the hit on the front aspect of the tank, so I am using front verse, and 2 is here. 1 or 4, it is turret front. American turret front armor is 41. I have 97. It is clearly enough to say that I scored a hit penetrated an armor. Now, let's take the effect. I used this kind of ammo. It is I am taking a result from the second die. It is 4, so 4 is 3-6 KO. I managed to score a hit penetrated an armor, and because of that we have KO. American tank is KO'd. Okay, and spot fire. As you can see, it's a bit more complicated than in the basic basic rules. Now, these two, since they share same order, they can fire on they have to fire on the same target. So they will use this American tank. They will fire on this American tank. It has move command, so they will use modifier for target moving. It is in the woods. Being in the woods give us medium cover. So we have +1 because of the target size, -2 because of the target moving, -3 because of the target in the medium cover. So it gives us totally -4. We have a short halt command, and Soviet has stabilizer 3, so we have -3 now, totally -7. And since there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, this is short halt, sorry, short range. So we are using laser sight, so we have +1. So totally -6 on the short range, 28. Not a big chance to score a hit. I'm gonna make a roll for this tank first. It rolled 89, so it missed. Sorry, and then for this tank, it rolled 30. It missed again too. So they both missed. Okay, now we are moving to the movement phase, and since it was a Soviet initiative, Americans are moving phase first. These both tanks share same movement command, but they won't be moving. They will try to look to hold down in these hexes, so it will make them harder to destroy them. To search for hold down, you have to spend all your movement points, so you can't use short halt because you would have to spend only half of your movement points. How to check if it's possible to hold down? We have to take terrain table, check the hold down column for the particular terrain. One tank is in the woods, while the other is in the light woods. So it is 130 and 130. We have to roll a die, and it should be in within these numbers. Also, since American's M60 has +1 because of sides, we add +5. So we have 135 to roll to get a hold down result. First, for this tank, I got 30, so it managed to hold down. I'm gonna place hold down counter, or maybe next to it. Okay, and it gets spot move, since he made a move while trying to find a hold down. And then for another American tank, it is 48, so it failed. It still has spot move, because it was a move. Now Soviets. These two Soviet tanks have a short halt, so they can still move, spending half of their terrain movement. So they have 3.5, so it will be 3 for them. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Since it was the same command, they have to end their movement on this in the 1 hex range. And that's all for the movement for both sides. I think that this Soviet tank will try to make a move with its turret like this, so it will be able to score a hit on this tank as well, because otherwise it won't be in its range. Yes, that's all. I can remove comments and go to another turn. Americans lost one of their tanks, so they have only two of them now. Okay, starting with the spotting. This one is in hold down. Is hold down used for spotting? I think no, but I have to check it out. No, it is not. Okay, so we can also assume all the tanks can see each other. So let's go to the comments. Americans have 2 tanks now only, so limit of their tank orders is lowered to 1. Since they have 2, they are seasoned, so they have only 1 order. I'm gonna give one of them a fire comment, and the other one will get no comment. I'm gonna show you why later. As for Soviets, they have 2. They can use 2 comments. I'm gonna give this short halt. Oh no. Oh, I made a mistake. Tactical mistake, no rule mistake, because I should turn his turret too, so it would be able to fire at this Americans. Now it can't, and I skipped an adjust phase when I could do it as well, so I will give him move. As for these 2, I will give them short halt. Okay, that's all for the comments. And now let's check an initiative. Americans 0 and 2, so it's 2, no good. Soviets 19, nothing great, but Soviets won. But as for now, we are starting with fire. Both of these Soviet tanks have short halt, so they can fire at one enemy, so they share the same order. I think they will try to fire on this American tank. It has no comment, since they are firing at him with their short halt. We're gonna check the modifiers. It is not moving, but it is +1 because of the size. It is in the medium cover, so it's -3, +1, -2. They have a short halt, and they have stabilizers 3, so we have +1 +2, sorry, -2, -5. And they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are in the point blank, so they can't use laser sight. So they have -5. On the point blank, it gives us 45. But the question is if this tank can fire. Why? Because American tank is not. This tank has no comment, so it may execute defensive fire. This is optional rule that I'm not quite clear about it, so if you are, please correct me. I might be wrong here, because it is not clear if I am executing this defensive fire when I was fired upon, or only if I survive the hit. So let's assume I will do it now. Like I said, I'm not quite sure about being correct here, but it is also a chance to show you how defensive fire works. Defensive fire is something like Overwatch fire, that you are reacting on the enemy fire. So let's take a look. We have a target moving because Soviet tank executed short halt, -2, no cover, no cover, no cover, no cover, no short halt, no shooter suppressed. It is treated as Overwatch fire, so we have -1, totally -3, and -5 because of the defensive fire, -2, totally -5. NATO target acquisition +1, so it gives us +4, and shooter grade, we are firing on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's point blank, so no sight. This gives us -4 on the point blank. It is 54. I rolled 34, so it hit. Now, to show you something else, let's assume I used heat ammo. Heat has a 5 range, so it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so it would be short, not point blank. But sorry for that, let's assume I used heat only to show you the difference between ammo and armors. while using heat, Soviet tank would use CE and Al era armor. So first I have to check AP penetration. No, sorry, I'm not using AP ammo, so I'm not using AP penetration as well. I'm gonna roll for AP for location of the hit. I rolled 36, so I'm using 3. It will be turret front. Now I have to check if turret front is secured by any kind of armor. As you may see, chemical explosive armor is light brown, ERA is dark brown. If the turret front is with light brown and dark brown, it has both of these kind of armors. So first, ERA. ERA is a reactive armor that works if I roll 7 or less. I rolled 2. ERA is effective, so the hit wasn't successful, and American tank is also burned down because of the previous hit. Like I said, I'm not quite sure of this defensive fire rule. I guess maybe it works differently, maybe I screw it. Now, please correct me. Okay, that was all for Soviets. And now for Americans. This American tank fires as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It fires with AP, so it uses point blank. As for modifiers, Soviet tank is moving, so -2. Nothing, nothing, nothing. NATO acquisition bonus +1, so -1. And shooter weapon sight, no, because it is point blank. So we have -1. I'm gonna then make, sorry, I kind of make a roll. I rolled 33. 33 means that I scored a hit on the turret front. And now for AP penetration. 3-3, it means that I will subtract a result. I'm shooting on the point blank, so I have 110, and 3 and 3 means 6, so I will have 12 to subtract 12 from 110. It will give me 98 AP. It will be enough, I guess. As for location, I have 3, so it will be turret front. And since it is 3, it is damaged. So Soviet turret was damaged. I'm gonna take a look for counter. And now, since Soviet tank was damaged, I have to check if the crew is not freaked out and it's not bailing out of the tank. I have to use bailout table. It was hit by with damage. For the crew is 30 or less. Okay, we have last turn, I guess so. And this time I'm gonna do some, let's call it cheating. What I mean is to change some things to show you the other kind of the rules. This is the last turn, since there is only one remaining American tank here, so it will be good, I guess. First, grades. I played this game, just like before, with seasoned grade, which is most popular in the game. But for this turn, let's assume that Americans are allied, while Russians are green. This will add some little more spice to the game. Next, let's move to the comment phase, but that's where the things go a bit complicated. Americans have one tank, so if they would be a seasoned, they would have no orders. But since they are allied now, they have one order. As for Soviets, they have 3 tanks and they are green, so they have only one order. If they would be seasoned, they would have 2, but they have 1. So, for Americans, it will be easy to guess that I give this one a fire comment. And as for Soviets, I will give these 2 also a fire comment, and this one remain with no comment. Now we have to check for initiative. Let's assume that Soviets have an initiative. Without the rolling, I should roll, of course, but you have a point. I'm going to show you something else, and I have to make sure without placing the dice otherwise. So let's assume Soviets have an initiative, and they are firing with these both tanks on this American tank. And now, Americans have fire order as well, and they can use quick draw optional rule. Quick draw rule says that if your unit, if the unit that is under fire has a better grade than unit that fires, it can fire back simultaneously. So I can, if this Soviet green unit fires on this American allied unit, American unit may fire back in the same moment. So these both attacks will be resolved simultaneously. Let's start with the Soviets. Of course, they have point-blank range. So as for modifiers, +1 because of the target size, plus light woods, yes, light, of course light, so -1 because of the target in the light cover, target in the heavy cover, shot halt, no, shooter weapon sight, no, because there is point blank, and shooter grade. Yes, that's we are moving to the unit grade modifiers, and since Soviets are green, on the point blank they have -1. So we had +1 for the size, -1 for the light woods, and -1 of the grade. So we have -1. This gives us point blank 81. So we have to make a roll. And let's assume I rolled... Yes, I'm cheating, but like I said, I'm doing it on purpose. Oh, this will be good. Yeah, I know. We have 5 and 1. First we have to check ammo penetration. 5 gives us nothing, 1 gives us -11, so Soviet gun has 108, -11, it will be 97. But we have to check the hit. American tank we have 5 on the 10s die, so we have 5, 6. But our tank is hull down, so all hull and truck hits are treated as a miss. So Soviet hit missed because of the hull down. And now Americans are about to fire back on Soviets. Start with the modifiers. I guess there won't be much of them. Oh, there will be +1 because of the NATO acquisition bonus, and Americans are allied, so we have +1. So we have +2 on the point blank, so it would be 0 and 0 to miss. Impossible for now. And since I'm gonna show you something else too now, I will roll, let's say 8 and 1. We're gonna have AP penetration. For Americans it is 110. 8 gives us +6 and 1 gives us -11, so totally -5, so we have 105. Now we have AP hit locations. We have 8. This means hull front. Soviets are not using any hull down, so they are hit. And we have 1. 1 means no damage. So Soviets survived. We have to check for the bailout. Bailout is an option that makes even non-destroyed, non-damaged units crews to escape from their tank because they are afraid of what's going on. Our tank is not damaged, AP no damage, so we have 10 or more, and because they are green we have +5. So if I would roll 15 or less, they would escape from their tank. Let's assume I rolled 13, and so we are taking these counters out and we are placing a bailout counter on this Soviet tank. So it is as good as eliminated now. Its crew escaped, there are no crew counters in. That would be all for this movie. I hope it was helpful. If you noticed any mistakes I made, do not hesitate to point them to me, since I'm still trying to master this game, and I hope that these movies will help, as well as you as me. And will I think I might do some more of these movies, since I'm curious about infantry as well, and about AO units too, also about about artillery. There are a lot of things in this game actually. I'm quite amazed, since it's not as big as my favorite Advanced Squad Leader, but it's still